Welcome to Evan HaEzer Halacha series. B'Shem Hashem Naaseh V'Natzliach. We are beginning a new Siman, that's Siman Bet Halacha Aleph. This will be part 1 of the class. Siman Bet is going to focus on that every single person should try to go ahead and marry themselves a proper girl. They should try to do their best to marry a girl that is proper. Now, if you're going to ask me, Rabbi, what is proper? That's what Siman Bet is all about. Okay? So the heading begins with Sheishtadel kol adam likach lo isha haguna. That every single person has to try to take for himself a proper wife. Meaning, you want to try to marry a proper girl. Ubo Yud Aleph Seifim. And in this chapter, you have 11 halachot. Now, mind you, that it's besides the Bash and the Cham and the Pitchit Teshuva, and sometimes even without the Berhetiv. So there is a lot of information that's going to go into this chapter. So you're going to have to bear, and you're going to have to understand that if you don't understand something from the onset, it's normal, because as we go along, it's going to break it down. The Shulchan Aruch begins in Siman Bet in Halacha Aleph. Rabotai, first Halacha in Siman Bet. Lo yisa adam isha sheyesh ba shum pisul. The Shulchan Aruch says, a man should not marry a woman that has any form of disqualification. Now, we're going to see that there's many forms that can disqualify a woman. But one of them, for example, is a mamzer. Okay, Rabbi, I'm just going to make it like that. I'm going to try to explain like that because you'll see as we go along, there's other forms of things that can disqualify, make a woman pasul to marry a guy. So that is the Shulchan Aruch. Lo yisa adam isha sheyesh ba shum pasul. A person should not marry a woman that has any disqualification. Haga, the Ramah says, Kol hanose isha pisula mishum mamon. Anybody who marries a disqualified woman because of money, let's say she has a lot of money, and unfortunately, Rabotai, I'm going to have to use this example. Many people, Rabotai, they get married to other people because of money. That, Rabotai, is a problem. Now, when is it a problem? As we're going to see, that's only if she is disqualified from marrying you. So the Ramah says, Kol hanose isha pisula, anyone who's going to marry a disqualified woman, mishum mamon, because of money, havyan lo banim, he's going to have children, she'enam mehuganim, that these children that he's going to have, they're going to be inappropriate children. They're going to misbehave. They're going to do things which are very inappropriate. So Rabotai, you see over here, if you want to go after the money and the wife is disqualified from marrying you and you went ahead and you still did it, Rabotai, this, by the way, is a clear Gemara Masechet Kiddushin. Havyan lo banim she'enam mehuganim. You're going to have children where they are improper children. Ava bilav hachi. But otherwise, she'enam pisul alav. Let's say she's not disqualified on you. You're only marrying her because she has money. Are you allowed to do that? Mutar. He says it's permissible. You're allowed to go ahead and marry a girl as long as she's a Jewish girl, as long as she's not disqualified on you, as we'll see this. And you want to marry her because Baruch Hashem, either she has money or her father has money. Are you allowed to do that? He says mutar. Again, if you pay close attention to the language of the Ramah says mutar. Again, he's not suggesting that you should, that's the best, that's the ideal way to marry a girl with money. No. He's just telling you that if you're marrying a girl who's not disqualified on you, and you're marrying her because of money, is it permissible? It's permissible. Okay, we're not going to tell you it's asur. Continues the Ramah. If somebody wants to marry a woman who's disqualified on him, Now, I can give you one example over here. I'll give you one small example that I just did in the Beit Yosef and in the tour, the Darkei Moshe. Let's say a Kohen wants to marry a Girusha. That's a problem. Okay, she's disqualified on him. Or a Halala, she's disqualified on him. Or let's say a person wants to marry a Goya Chas v'Shalom. Over there, needless to say, Rabotai, there's nothing what to talk about. Disqualified on any Jew. Now, can the parents or can the family protest against him? So he says over here, if somebody wants to marry a disqualified woman, where this woman is not allowed to marry him, or let's say you had a Jew that wanted to marry a mamzer, we're not allowed to marry into mamzeret. B'nei mishpachato, the family, yochlim limchot bo, they are able to protest against him. The Darkei Moshe says, lechatchila, you are allowed to go ahead and protest against such people. If you have children that want to marry, Rabotai, girls, where they're not able to marry them, meaning because they're not, they're not Jewish, or they're disqualified. For example, she's a mamzer, or a Kohen wants to marry a divorcee, or if you have a Jew who wants to marry a Goy Lo Leinu. In any one of these situations, b'nei mishpachato yochlim limchot bo, the family is able to protest against him, not be quiet like we have today. Let me try to see give me one second, let me get the Shulchan Aruch. I want to read the language inside because it's very important. We know this, a lot of people are not aware of this. Today you have a sickness, Chas v'Shalom. I'm not judging anybody, Rabotai, but today it's very sad that where people get assimilated, right? Even the Kohanim, even the people that are Kohanim, they get married to divorcees, right? We accept them with love, right? I'm not telling you not to accept them with love. I'm not telling you to make problems with them. But what I'm saying is, there has to be some kind of michia. There has to be some kind of protest. We have to show that we're not approving of their behavior. Yeah, you go to a party today, you go to a bar mitzvah or a brit milah or a wedding, and you have this Bukharian guy, he walks in with a Goyish girl. Everybody hugs him just because he has money. Everybody kisses up to him, everybody flatters him. Rabotai, what do you think when your children look? They see it, they look, oh, look at that. A Jew, look at that, a Goya. Okay, if they're kissing him, they're hugging him, that means it's mutar. This way, Rabotai, we're going to lose our children, Chas v'Shalom. Is it normal? It's not normal. But that's what we do, Rabotai. We accept them. I'm not telling you to fight with them. But before they got married, why nobody made a macha? Why nobody protested? Why are we all quiet? Why? Because they give us good donations. Rabotai, you can find in the Darkei Moshe. He says like this. V'katav Haran, Rabbeinu Nissim writes, Demi sherotze lisha isha she'ena hogenet lo. If somebody wants to marry a woman that's not proper for him, she's not appropriate for him, she's disqualified on him, b'nei mishpachto yochlim limchot bo, their family members are able to protest against him, go against him, lechatchila, even initially. Rabotai, unfortunately, we have today too many people that are afraid to speak the truth, and that's a problem. That is a very big problem. You understand? If we're going to be quiet and we're going to see Bukharian boys, let me just use this example, going to go with non-Jewish girls, what do you think? You're going to have Jewish children with that girl? If a person, Rabotai, we don't understand the severity of this. You have any idea if you have a goy, a non-Jew, living with a Jewish girl, let's say, Chas v'Shalom, but let's say, you know who the children are? They're Jewish children. But if you have a Bukharian guy, he's living with a Goya, and they have children, do you know who the children are? Goyim. You know what the Halacha says, Rabotai? That when the children grow up and they convert to become Jewish, the father is able to marry the daughter. How? That's his daughter. It's not his daughter. She's a Goya. What kind of daughter? Maybe biologically, but not according to the Torah. But Rabotai, why are we quiet? Why are we quiet? Why nobody says anything? Look what the Rama says. Anybody who wants to marry a woman who's disqualified on him, B'nei mishpachato yuchlim limchot bo. The family members are able to protest against him. I see over here he didn't put the word lechatchila. In the Darkei Moshe, he has the word lechatchila. You know something? Let me see if I could get it for you guys over here. Where is the Darkei Moshe right over here? This is the Darkei Moshe. All right, here, Rabota, look over here. Wow, right over here. Oh, wow. Look at that. I just want you guys to see the language, because it's very important, Rabotai, to do the right thing. Why are we quiet? Why are we always quiet? What happened, Rabotai? What happened to us? Here, look what he says. Anybody who wants to marry a woman, that is not fit for him, the family is able to protest against him even initially, meaning ideally. Rabotai, protest against them. Show them that this is wrong. I don't care how you're going to do it, but do it. Show them that this is wrong. Don't be quiet. I'm going to tell you a sad story. Somebody showed me. Rabotai, I don't know why people are on it, but somebody showed me. Maybe it's good that I know about these things, because then I can speak about it. Somebody told me that there was a Bukharian guy. I don't know his name. I don't even know who the guy is. So they made a engagement party. How we have, when you eat the sugar by us, they made an engagement party by them also. Okay. So how did they walk in? Rabotai, listen to this. In a restaurant, a big restaurant, fancy restaurant. He showed me how the domot walks in with the kilin. Who was the kilin? Who was the daughter-in-law? Who was his future wife to be? A goya, Rabotai, a non-Jew. But that's not the worst part of it. You know how she walked in? Rabotai, with her stomach out. She was already pregnant. Pregnant, Rabotai. And you know the sad part about it is? You know how many family members of that boy were there? Bukharian, they went to support it. How can we not? Derech Eretz Kadma LeTorah. Rabotai, that's the problem. When you go support these kind of things, your children are going to pick up on it. If it's okay with you by them, why shouldn't it be okay with us? Then don't come and say, Rabbi, my son is getting married to Christina, Jennifer. Don't come crying. Then it's just too late. That's what Chazal tell us, Olam de Shikra. This world is a world of lies, you understand? How Rabotai, excuse my language, I just gotta say it, Rabotai, I don't speak about this, but I gotta say it. I don't hear anybody speaking about this. How stupid, Rabotai, how stupid can we be, Rabotai, number one, as a Rabbanim, to allowing these people to donate money to synagogues? I don't care how much money you need. But we shouldn't be taking money from people that go and they get assimilated into other nationalities. They want to marry a Goya and you want to go take money from them. Why didn't you show that this is wrong? We can't take money from you. You're married to a non-Jew. How can we take money from you? Rabotai, how stupid can we already be? What's going on with that Bukharian boys? Tell me. There's no other Bukharian girl. There's no other Ashkenazi girl. There's no other Syrian girl. There's no more Jewish girls in the world. Finish. Bank closed. What happened, Rabotai? What happened? But the problem is, we look at the beauty. We look at the outside. We don't think what's going to be with us. You have no idea. The guy, Rabotai, the guy that sleeps with the Goya, Kishura bo kikelev. She's tied to him like a dog, Rabotai. Because non-Jewish girls, they're smart. They know how to get Olam Haba. You know how? Through the Jewish guy. Anybody, if chas v'shalom, you are living with a Goya, immediately, Rabotai, stop it. You must stop it and do serious teshuvah. Start all over. Build a real family where you can have kids. Do you know, I read a story in the Holocaust. You guys got to hear the story. I read a story on the Holocaust that there was a very, very wealthy guy, but he was Jewish. So what? Even if you have all the money in the world during the Holocaust, you're nobody. If you're a Jew, you're a rat. You're a Jew, you're poisoned. Straight to the gas chambers. So there was a Hasidic Rebbe that was also in the concentration camps with this rich guy. And he couldn't understand why this rich guy had, he didn't want to eat, he didn't want to live, he didn't want to work, like, just shoot him in the head and just kill him. He couldn't understand, like, what's his problem? So one day, the Rebbe, he goes to this rich guy. Again, the Rebbe doesn't know who this guy is. He goes to this rich guy and he tells him, listen, the way you're going, you're going to die. You got to, bring yourself back. You got to try to survive as much as you can. You can't just give up on them. So the rich guy looks at the Rebbe. He says, do you know who I am? He says, no, I have no idea who you are. He says, you don't know who I am? He says, no, I have no idea who you are. He says, tell me, did you ever take bills? Did you ever take bills? Like, have Benjamin Franklin picture on the $100 bills? He says, where they were in Auschwitz, in Germany, Rabotai, he was the bank. This Jewish rich guy, his face was on money. He says, do you have any idea how rich I was? So he says, okay, listen, Hashem gives, Hashem takes. What do you want me to do? He says, yeah, but that's not the only problem. He said, what's the problem? He said, I married a German woman. And I had a lot of children with her. I think around 4 or 5 children. When they were coming to house, the Germans, knocking on each house, looking for Jewish people, all my wife had to do was not give me in. All she had to do is say, my husband is German, because she's German. And his children are German. All she had to do is just say, my husband is German, or be quiet. But what did she do? She sold them out. She said to them that my husband is a filthy Jew. So they took the husband, they left the children, they left the wife, but they took the husband because he's a Jew. As they were taking him, listen to how sad this is. The least from your wife, maybe feel bad, some remorse, no? From your children, no, wave bye to Abba, no, say bye, Papa. We're never going to see you again. Says, the saddest part was, when they took me from the house, my wife and my children didn't even look back to see where I was going. I was looking back every single time. Maybe she's going to say, I'm sorry. Maybe their kids are going to say, Abba, I love you. Maybe something, maybe. They turned their back on me as nothing, as if I don't exist. Then he tells the Rebbe, is there a point for me to live? Can you tell me? Is there a point where you know that you have such people in the world that can turn their back on you? And that's what they do. That's what non-Jews do, Rabotai. They'll turn their back on you any day, Rabotai. When it's good for them, it's good with you. Once it's not good for them, once you're no longer needed, you're nobody, Rabotai. Look what's going on. Look at all the anti-Semitism. Rabotai. So the rich guy says to the Rebbe, what can I do? What can I do? It's too late for me. The Rebbe told him, listen to me carefully, it's never too late. Hashem loves every single Jew. He'll always accept you back. All you got to do is do teshuvah. Rabotai, that night, the Jewish guy, this rich guy was crying. He was crying his heart out. In the morning, the Rebbe woke up. He went to stand on the line like usual, and the rich guy never showed up. When they went after him to check what's going on with him, because they thought he was oversleeping, he returned his soul back to the Maker. After he did complete teshuvah, Hashem took him back. Rabotai, all that was worth it, only for that one Jew to do teshuvah and go back to Hashem. You understand, Rabotai, who you're dealing with? You want to marry a non-Jewish girl. Don't think she's not going to turn her back on you. The day will come. The time will come. She's going to get up. She's going to walk away like anyone else. You can see, Rabotai, history has proven itself over and over again. You can't rely on anybody but HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So therefore, Rabotai, what is the Ramah telling us over here? All the Ramah is telling us over here. Mi sherotzeh litza isha pesula. Anybody who wants to go ahead and marry a woman who's disqualified, bnei mishpachato yochlim limchot bo. The family members are able to protest against him. Don't be scared. Educate them, Rabotai. I'm not telling you right now to go ahead and fight with them. but protest, show that you don't approve of such a marriage. Show that you're not happy with this kind of marriage. Do something, Rabotai, do something. So tomorrow they don't come and say, oh, why didn't you tell me? Had you told me, I wouldn't have done it. You understand? Let's continue. What happens if he doesn't want to pay attention? He doesn't care for what we think. He cares for what you have to say. Right now, he thinks how to get in her parents. That's all he thinks. What do you think? You think he's thinking with his head? He's thinking with something else, not his head. And if he does not want to pay attention to them, you look what he says. Look what the Rama says, Rabotai. Ya'asu HaEzer davar Siman. Do something as a sign. Shelo yitarev zaro bezaram. Rabotai, in the tour, in the Darkei Moshe, you know what he says over there? He says that they should go out in the public and they should publicize the matter that our brother or our son has married a woman who's disqualified on him, and we want people to be careful from their children. Huh? No, chas v'shalom, Rabbi, chas v'shalom. Where's the derech eretz? We try to hide everything, right? Under the rug. Everything under the rug. Rabotai, this is why you can't think with your head, you have to think with the head of the Torah. The Torah has to be our guiding light. Not what we, not our emotion, not our instincts. The Torah has to guide us. If the boy does not want to listen to them, they should do some kind of sign that he should not mix, that his children should not mix with the children of their children, Rabotai. That we have to be very careful from this people's children. Now, Rabotai, I give you a case of assimilation. Over here, we're going to see is going on a Kohen marrying a divorcee, or a Jew marrying a mamzeret. All of these things, you want to know who's getting married to who. Why? Because tomorrow they're going to have children. You think they're Jewish. Now they're marrying into your family. You don't even know who you're marrying. That's what about time when a rabbi does kiddushin, he has to go back, as we're going to see, generations. He has to go and he has to check to make sure that it's a really, really Jewish people. Continues the Roman, next halacha. mamon harbe l'shiduchin. Rabotai, if a guy was offered a lot of money for a shidduch to marry this girl, correct? Let's say, for example, $500,000. 5 years, the father-in-law said, it's on me. You're a Talmud Chacham or whatever you are. It's on me 5 years. And then they retracted. They said, you know something? I think $500,000 is too much. I can't afford it. I can't do it. Okay, something? No, nothing. They retracted completely. Should he marry her? Or should he cancel the marriage? Meaning, should he cancel the wedding? Lo ya'adgen kalato. You should not hold your kala as hostage. Meaning, do not hold yourself back from marrying her. That you should not do. Do not hold her as hostage. It is not fair to the girl that just because the parents promised something, meaning, just because your in-laws promised something and they're not giving it to you, she's not the korban, Rabotai. She's not the sacrifice. She doesn't have to suffer because of this. Look what the Rama says. Lo ya'agen kalato. Do not hold your kala as a hostage by not marrying her, Rabotai. Mishum se, because of this, because of the fact that they withdrew the money. V'lo yitkotet ba'avur nichnese isho. Also, do not argue with your wife because of the assets, because of the money of your wife. Don't argue because of these things. Umi she'osek, and anybody who does so, eino matzliach, he's not going to be successful. Ve'en zivugo ole yafeh, his relationship is not going to be good. They're not going to have a successful relationship. If you're fighting with your wife about what does she bring, what did your father give me, what did your mother give me, right? Rabotai, he says over here, you're not going to be successful and your relationship is not going to be successful. Because the money that a person takes with his wife, ain't no mamon shal yosher. It's not upright money. V'kol ha'osek, and anybody's going to do so. Mikre, he's called nosei isha l'shem mamon. He's called that a person who marries a woman for the sake of money, which is not a good thing to do. Rather, what should you do? Kol ma she'iten lo chami v'chamoto. Whatever your father-in-law is going to give you, whatever your mother-in-law is going to give you, yikach be'ayin tov. Take it with a good eye. Whatever they give you, they give you, they give you. They don't give you, they don't give you. Whatever they give you, Rabotai, look at it with a good eye. Look what he says. Ve'az yatzlich, then you're going to be successful.